going to have a little bit of fun drawing an eye with felt pen. So I've been to the store and I bought these kids felt pens. Felt pens are nice to make drawings with. They are not archival, so if you make a drawing, put it somewhere where it doesn't receive a lot of light, and then you can keep it longer. But I'm just going to draw that eye, and I'm going to try to focus, to zoom in a little bit. So and first I use green, which in painting you have, in old master paintings, the underpainting, and for this technique I start with green, because that's, I won't say really neutral color, but to me it works better than starting with red or something. So I prefer green to start drawing with, but you could take another color as well, like purple or something, or blue. But green is a nice color to start a drawing like this with. I found this on Pixabay. And I'm using regular printer paper. I think with technique like this, it's better to have a little bit thicker paper, by the way, because there's some sort of, that there's a certain, it's not really a dry technique totally. It's a bit liquid what's in that felt pen, so you get these folds, or the paper starts to get a certain waveform. It's late in the evening. English is not my native language, so I'm getting trouble thinking of the right words sometimes. So now I have some sort of basis, and I'm focusing on the eye and not too much on what's around that eye, but some indication of what's around it is nice, I think. But I'm going to focus on that eye itself. And now I want to take another color, and I'm wondering, shall I take blue or red? In skin coloring, when I use this technique, I would take red to have a nice sort of opposite. Now I'm thinking about taking blue, I think. Yeah, I want to add dark dark coloring to this. So I'm using lines and dots. And it's for the first time in a long time, in a few years, I think, that I really use this technique again. So I have to get used to it again a bit. This works better, I think, to get this here. And now I have green and blue, and now I'm going to add some red. Especially for the skin color, red is nice to add. It's some sort of pointillism now. The tear duct, also some red. And let's take orange. Sometimes you just choose these colors quite intuitively. You watch at the example and you think, well, if I take that or that, then it will have a nice effect, or it approaches this, or it is suitable in that or that way. And it's also dependent on what colors that you actually have. So here's a blue, a light blue. That's nice here. But I tend to use all the colors all over the drawing. So where the color is actually in the example, you can use it more concentrated, or where you want it darker or something, you can use dark felt pen, like dark blue, because I'm going to use some of this again. I think I'm going to take a darker green. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is slightly darker, but not much. I was at the store today and I thought it might be fun to just buy children's toy drawing materials, and I ended up only buying this cheap set of felt pens. The problem is when you buy expensive felt pens, I wonder whether they are actually more archival. So are they actually much better than this? I'm not sure about that. I don't know, to be honest. But I don't expect felt pens to be archival. There are acrylic pens which are quite expensive, but they do have an acrylic filling, acrylic paint actually. So you have a pen, but there's acrylic paint in them, and I have some of those too, but they don't have the same effect as this has. So they are nice to draw with, but I wanted to use these now, and it's just fun. And when you put these away from the light, I think you can save them for quite some time. But when you frame them and hang them in your room, and gradually the colors will change or fade away or whatever, but I don't expect such a drawing to really stay the same, to be honest. And I want to concentrate a little more on the eye, but I don't want to overdo it actually. So let's focus a little bit more. Zoom in, I mean. And I'm just choosing what kind of color I will use, because the most important colors I have used. I'm going to add some blue. And well, it's coming along nicely now. And it's a little bit too much blue now. I'm adding some red. Either you stop early or you go on. And it's a really nice color effect, this technique, so it's a fun thing to do. And I want a little bit of yellow. Yellow is nice. It's like confetti. And I think I consider this finished. It's a sketch. I think I leave it at this.